My name is Pamela Skelly, and I work for the EastCon Regional Education Service Center as an Educational Technology and Staff Development Specialist. My topic is to demonstrate and discuss how to integrate technology into your math curriculum in order to effectively prepare your students for the Smarter Balance Assessment. This webinar presentation will model an activity for a particular Common Core state standard for 4th grade mathematics, but it is meant to be one model that can be generalized for other standards and grade levels as well. This specific presentation will align to the Common Core mathematics standard for NF.A.1, explain why a fraction, AB, is equivalent to the fraction, numerator parenthesis n times a, with the denominator parenthesis n times b, by using visual models with attention to how the number and size of the parts differ even though the two fractions themselves are the same size. Use this principle to recognize and generate equivalent fractions. It's noted that grade 4 expectations in this domain are limited to fractions with denominators 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 100. Now I'm going to demonstrate a free online interactive activity, fraction models, and how well it can relate to the math curriculum. This activity is from Illuminations, developed by the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. The address for this and the other websites I'll mention during this presentation will be displayed on a slide at the end of the presentation. Notice the plus signs that allow you to expand a selection so you can read more. Notice that this model has a lot of areas you can adjust. You can have just a narrow range of denominators, a limited one, which is pretty closely related to our standard, or a wide range. For visual purposes, this only goes to 25. Now you can also, I'm going to go back to narrow range. You can adjust the size of the numerator and the denominator by either moving the small triangle icon, or you can hit the plus and minus at either end, and it will show the responding numerator and denominator. If you want, you can then add that fraction to the table. Notice there are different types that you can choose as well: length, area, region, or set. So there's different representations, and in the set you can even change a couple of your icons to represent the fraction. And we'll create a mixed number. Again, to add it to the table, you would click here. This would delete whatever entry selected. This would clear your entire table. Under the exploration, there are some teaching suggestions, such as using the set model. Start with the fraction 7/4. I'll clear the table right now. Add the fraction to the table. What is the decimal equivalent? Change the denominator to 8 and add and remove sections until the decimal is the same as it was for 7/4. So I'm just going to move my slider to 8. And now I need to make it so the decimal representation is equal. And I can either quickly figure it out because I know it, or I can explore perhaps how a student might do it when first presented with this information. Now I can add that to the table. Another possible context for using this tool is with the Illuminations lesson, A Meter of Candy. The learning objectives associated with this lesson are: students will reinforce the understanding of connections between fractions, decimals, and percentages, and connect the set and linear model to area models, the circular and rectangular ones, which you just noticed were in the Illuminations tool we just looked at. Materials. These will provide an instruction plan, handouts that you can use with it, activity sheets, some of the questions that will be posed to the students. What does it mean to have 100% of something covered up? 50%? Can you picture 100%? Some of the questions posed to the students in this activity, A Meter of Candy. What does it mean to have 100% of something covered up? 50%? Can you picture 10%? Why do we say 100% is the whole thing? Is that the same as 100 divided by 100 in that fraction form? You can see the remaining questions. I'm not going to take time to review the specifics of the lesson. My goal was to show you the fraction models online as one example of an interactive that allows students to explore fractions and other math concepts at depth. Illuminations has many more activities, and you can see here some they're highlighting, but there's many more. I'd also like to share in Illuminations, you'll see they also have web links to other places. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite links now that I find useful for free online interactive math activities. Another good place to go is the National Library of Virtual Manipulatives. Finding something similar to the fractions. Comparing equivalent fractions. These are also tools, and there's associated lessons and help for the teacher on how to use these activities. Shodor Interactivate has some good tools as well and activities. You can sort by audience. And there too, you'll notice a lot of different activities and some related to fractions as well. Another interesting spot for interactive activities is across the pond at the BBC. I like the bite-size. I like the bite-size activities for ages 7 through 11. It's KS2. I'm going to the maths, into number, and I'm just going into the fraction basics. I hope you find these resources useful to you as you align your curriculum with the Common Core state standards. Thank you very much for your time.